Welcome to the Scoreboard, the show that brings you the latest in Halifax Sports news. I'm Ben Kline.
And I'm Reece Cooper.
And today we're going to be talking about the wrestling season and the upcoming track season with special guests Gracie Woodring and Zane Cassell.
We're also bringing you the reactions and scores and highlights of last week and spring training for baseball starting.
So our little weekly recap here. It feels like forever ago because we took that little week break, but the boys unfortunately lost the district semifinal to Antietam, 53-62.
So the swimming team is going to Cumberland Valley for district championships.
Yep, that's this weekend, I believe. So the basketball game was kind of a heartbreaker.
I guess it'll be last weekend because we're uploading on Monday.
Yeah, we took a break this week for editing purposes. But yeah, basketball game was rough. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't rough. It was just, I don't know.
Unfortunate.
They played better than we did.
Yeah, it did. Unfortunately.
You got your wins, you get your losses. It happened.
It does happen.
It was a good season. They'll be back stronger next year.
Yep, Bruce.
We'll be waiting for it.
Oh, yeah. So we're here with Gracie, one of our interviews for this week. To start it off, what all did you have to do to make it to district this season?
I really had to watch my weight because I dropped down to 109 in the middle of the season. But other than that, it was just normal practices.
How do weight classes really work? Is it like a specific range? Is it like 109 to 111 or something like that? Or is it specific?
You have to be below what's given to you. So if there's 109, really you're wrestling at 107 and you get a 2-pound allowance after Thanksgiving. But you're really just only given those 2 pounds. You're allowed to be under, but...
What are there, like 5 weight classes? More than that? Are there more? Like 10 maybe?
There's a good amount. There's all the way up to heavyweight, which is over 215 pounds.
Big boy.
That is indeed a big boy. So what was your strategy going into matches? Do you have a specific mentality or just go into it?
A lot of the guys, they overthink and they watch their, the kid they're wrestling, they watch their kids' matches and they think too much about it. I try to ignore who I'm really wrestling until it's time to get out on the mat.
Yeah. Obviously, wrestling as a girl is going to be different than wrestling as a guy. Is it intimidating wrestling a dude, or is it just think of it as another match?
Most of the time it is intimidating. Like when we go to weigh in, I see them and I'm like, well, they're a pretty big guy, but sometimes it's not as hard. Yeah.
Are there many other girls that wrestle in other schools?
For our district, I think we've got the most with girls teams, but I haven't really seen a lot of girls. I wrestled maybe 2 or 3 this year.
So who all's left? Is it you, Carter, Enders, and Peter Rank?
For the school, it's just Carter and Peter. I have my own personal wrestling against the girls, but...
Okay. So when does that start?
This weekend, actually, on Sunday.
And then is Carter and Peter, are they this weekend too? Or
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Is that state?
No, that's districts.
That's district.
No,
okay.
Regionals.
Regional.
Yeah.
And then it goes to states then?
Yeah.
All right. So if you're interested in wrestling, watch this weekend for some stuff to come out. Yeah. Thank you, Gracie, for being one of our interview guests this week.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So we're starting the main interview here segment with Zane Cassell. So what all records do you have for Pico and Greenwood for track?
Yeah, so I currently hold the 800-meter record the 800-meter school record for Greenwood, and also the same 800-meter record for the Pico track meet. Pico, that's the Perry County, so that's us with Greenwood, also combined with Newport, West Perry, and Susquehanna. So Greenwood school record and Pico record for 800 meters.
Dang,
Do you know what your times were for that, or just?
The school record I ran at states. That's still my personal best with 157. I think the Pico record was 159.
That's insane. It's how are you, or why are you so fast?
That's kind of hard to explain fully. I think different athletes kind of have their own gifts, and running is the thing I think that comes naturally to me. Also, I think it's just because it's something that I like.
Yeah.
Soccer ended in October, and I've been running on average 5 or 6 days a week since then.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just something that I enjoy. And yeah, I think when you do something so much, yeah, you kind of get better at it
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah, I
That's
can't say I agree that I like running. It's probably one of my least favorite things to do.
Yeah, running is definitely not one of mine. I think it's kind of funny that we got a Halifax kid holding the Greenwood record
Yeah.
for the. It's pretty funny. What's the purpose? Why is Halifax kind of with Greenwood for track?
So historically, Halifax Track always used to combine with Millersburg up the road. And that when did that
It was a
change?
couple ends
It
a
was
couple years ago that
it was
ended.
right before my freshman year. That cooperation ended. Upper Dolphin moved to combine with Millersburg, and we got kicked out of that co-op. So we were looking for a place to go. We had looked into Susquehanna. They didn't want us because adding another school would move them up to AAA, which that's understandable because AAA is a much higher level
Yeah.
than the smaller school AA. So Greenwood, who's already combined with Newport, they agreed to take us in. It didn't move them up to AAA, and it's been good for all of us, I think. All of the Halifax people are happy with how it's worked out. I'd rather be with Greenwood than anywhere, I think. And also, the Halifax athletes bring a lot to Greenwood's side. We consistently bring some of Greenwood's best athletes. We've helped them win a lot of district medals and some league championships.
Yeah, Greenwood they have a lot of really good athletes, especially that participate in track, and
Yeah.
they have good athletes in baseball too. But so I know you're on the spotlight, but what other athletes, maybe just from Halifax, are in like a relay team or whatever, on the spotlight to make like a big state run or playoff run?
Yeah. So in addition to myself, I would say our 4x8 relay. That's the distance that I run, 800 meters. 4 runners with that. We placed second at districts last year. Didn't do well at states, so I'd like to improve our state result from last time. We're bringing everybody back, so we should have a good chance to do that. Potentially win districts. It's hard to remember everybody from Greenwood, but I'll talk about some of the Halifax people. Riley Barr in the hurdles. He had a good district run last year. I'm hoping he can get some improvement this year. Maybe get a medal. Tatum Rothermel on javelin. Sarah Tanner, mid-distance, 800 meters and 1600. Look for her in districts. I'm not sure. That might be about it for states. Maybe the best chances. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys have your practices at Halifax, or do you have to travel to Greenwood to?
No, so we go to Greenwood every day. For a lot of people who are thinking about track, that's a big thing that kind of scares people
Yeah, that's
off.
gotta be a little annoying having to go
But
up there every
yeah,
day.
it's only a half hour each way, and the track practice isn't that long. We're usually out of Greenwood by 5, back to the school at 5:30. I don't think it's been a problem for any of our athletes, and yeah, it works out well.
So what's the first day where you officially start? Is it the 6th? Is that
Just like everybody else,
March
yeah.
6th.
March 6th is when practice officially starts.
stuff? Do you know when your first meet is? Is that they're meets, right?
I haven't really looked into that much. Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right. We'll
So
keep
yeah.
we'll keep the viewers up to date when that officially comes out. We'll let you guys know.
So there's a lot of events and stuff in track and field. Like, do you know the number, or like for the inexperienced viewers who don't really know a lot about track and field, how much of that is going into it?
Yeah. So there's what I do. I'm what's called mid-distance. That's mainly the 800 meters, kind of up to the 1600 meters. The running goes up to 3200 meters, 8 laps for 2 miles. And then you get into the sprints below that, 400. There's the 200 and the 100 hurdles. There's 110-meter hurdles, the 300-meter hurdles. Then there's the field events, javelin, the other throws, shot put. What's the other one? Is there another throw?
Discus.
Discus, that's right. And then there's pole vaulting and jumping, high jump, long jump, and triple jump. I think that should cover it.
I think I would like the throwing. Sounds like you don't gotta run much. So.
Yeah, so you have to go through all of that in a meet. That's got to take pretty lengthy amount of time.
Yeah, the league meets where you're only competing against one other team, it probably takes about the same amount of time as a regular baseball or soccer game. But yeah, like states and districts and other big meets, states and districts are actually over 2 days.
I was gonna say they run
And
like all day.
The
Don't
bigger
they?
invitationals, they'll start like at 9 a.m. and can last till like 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's everything we have for Zane. Thank you, Zane. Thank you for coming on to
Thanks for
do the
having me.
interview. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Moving on to the final segment, just me and Reece this week. Spring training started for the MLB. Been underway for about a week now. The
Yeah.
pitch clock rule has been messing with some people from what I've been seeing. Been
I
costing
mean,
teams games, I think.
I don't think it's costing them games. It's just going to take them a while to get used to it, but it's just making the games go quicker. And I think for certain fans, it's a good thing. Others, it's not. I mean, if you're a person that goes to the games and likes the environment, likes watching them, staying there all day, it's not going to be as good for them.
Yeah.
But if you're like me and you think baseball is boring, it's good. I mean, I like watching it, but I think it's boring to sit there for hours on end and watch people swing bats. But that's just me.
I think the pitch clock in high school baseball would be a little bit more hectic.
Yeah, definitely.
There's
I mean,
so
they're
much-
not as good at following rules. I
you're
feel like.
getting your signs from coach. I don't really know how much that goes on in the MLB or how much you're doing on your own, but
Yeah.
like in high school baseball, I think it's a little bit.
Yeah, once you get to the professional level, you kind of just it's more lackadaisical. It's not like it's almost like how football and basketball they just like in the regular season don't try as hard.
Yeah, I feel like in high school level, you're still learning how to.
Yeah,
You're still in
yeah.
the learning process of all that stuff.
Just
so I
like
feel
how they don't have a shot clock in basketball for some
Yeah.
high schools.
Yeah,
we
we don't definitely. No,
But
that'd
yeah,
be
I think it's
terrible.
just I don't know. The game's already pretty fast paced in high school, so it's not as
definitely
necessary.
more fast paced.
Yeah.
than MLB in my opinion. So some other news: Westbrook got sent to the Clippers.
He did. Well, he didn't get sent. He signed with them, but
Yeah.
it was his choice.
Same thing.
I think he's a great fit for them. Their coach fits his scheme really well.
He's a bit
yeah.
old. But
The problem with him on the Lakers was that LeBron James needs shooters around him. Westbrook is not, a
he's not
shooter, obviously.
That man's a
He
slasher.
got the nickname West Brick for a reason.
Yeah.
I love Westbrook. Favorite player of all time. I just want to see him be successful, and I hope that's good for him. Yeah, and Logan Stoneroad was in tears this morning. Kevin Durant came back, played for the Suns, scored 27 points
Wow.
in his post-injury debut.
Logan Stone
yeah.
already has a new team. It's not like the New York Nets anymore.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn Nets, sorry. He's now
So-
under the Phoenix Suns.
Yep. NFL Draft Combine coming. I think it's this weekend. And yeah, we'll be able to see some stars coming up, see how well they do.
Who are the top QBs? Who's it like CJ Stroud?
CJ Stroud, Bryce Young,
Bryce Young.
Will Levis. Florida quarterback, I think his name Anthony Richardson.
I don't know.
I'm not exactly sure.
We just got
um,
confirmation it's Anthony Richardson.
It is Anthony Richardson from our production team.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll be able to see. I think most of them are throwing. I know CJ Stroud is, but I'm not 100% sure about the others.
Is your boy Najigba? Is he in the combine or is he staying in college?
I haven't heard any news, but knowing him, probably not, because he doesn't like to play.
His brother's in the MLB. He's in spring training right now. On the Pirates.
Yeah.
Stud family. Nice day.
He was indeed a stud for I think he played 1 or 2 games this year. But last year he was incredible for Ohio State.
You wanna
Oh,
do
going back to baseball, there's no shift anymore.
yeah, they got rid of
I
that.
got rid of the shift. I like that rule a
I know,
lot.
me too. Bases
I
are now
mean,
bigger too.
Yeah, bases are bigger, or
3 inches.
increasing the steals. Yeah. Infielders aren't allowed into the grass, I
Mhm.
think, but the outfielders can move up. So I don't know. You can
I don't-
still kind of put on a shift, but not as heavily as
Yeah.
before.
I don't know. I've seen some base hits in spring training that would
Yeah.
have been taken away
Definitely. The
already.
thing is with the shift, there'd be so many times where you'd see players like the third baseman would be playing shortstop, and
Yeah,
they'd
and then you
shift
have
that
3
way.
players on the
Why not
on the
just
right side of the
bunt
field.
down the third baseline?
I don't
That's
know,
an
some people
easy
just can't
single.
bunt. Some people can't bunt.
If you're a professional, you can put down a bunt. I mean,
I don't
come on
know.
now.
Some people just
Some
never
people,
bunt their whole
they're
life.
not just some people. They're professional baseball players who get paid millions of dollars to swing a baseball bat and play on the infield. I think they should be able to lay down a bunt down the third
I don't know.
baseline.
Have you ever seen a boy like Prince Fielder? You know who that is?
I have no clue.
Oh my, he's a big boy. I don't think he could do it in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, well, they're not going to put down a shift to leave that third baseline wide open, I don't think.
I don't know. He's a pretty big pool hitter, I think.
Okay. So, outro.
Yeah, we want to do the outro.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Scoreboard. We're here once again, keeping you up to date with everything happening in Halifax sports and beyond. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Zane and Gracie. And thank you to our production team. We'll see you next week.